This is 3 days before I'm going to Africa. Oh, Africa's not a country, Africa's a continent, and I don't know half of the new names because they've all changed since I was last there, which was 1960. And I remember I left Australia to see the world, and I was going on to England, as all Australian girls did, and I've been saving up since I was 8 years old to go to see the world. And we stopped at Cape Town and I jumped ship, and I hitchhiked to London instead over several months, and that was a long time ago. What you didn't stand on the road and hitchhike, you know, as much as putting notices in the paper or reading the paper. I'm traveling to Durban, looking for rides, you know, that kind of thing. Like I hitched, but I didn't hitch standing on the road. I called my trip from Cape Town to Cairo. On the trip going over, I met a Brian Dykes, and he had been studying in Canada. Everybody had been so nice to him in Canada that he wanted to do something nice to other people in other parts of the world. So he invited me to go and visit him in Mbukwiz, which was southern Rhodesia. At the time, it's now we're going to Zimbabwe. It's changed its name, of course. I stayed with his neighbor on a tobacco plantation, and I taught school to the kids on the tobacco plantation, and I rolled his car, and on my first drive, I didn't tell him I just got my driver's license, and so I kept in touch with him for a little while, but I haven't for a long time. So I'm wondering that maybe I'll be able to look him up. I also would like to meet Honourable Charles Greling. Now he's probably passed away. He lived in Potchefstroom, which is near Johannesburg, with his family. I wanted to climb Table Mountain, but the cloud was on the top of Table Mountain, which is the backdrop to Cape Town. So I thought, what can I do to fill in my time? I'd never been to Parliament before, and so I went into the visitors gallery of Parliament, and I was writing notes because I wasn't a journalist then, wasn't an author then, I was a school teacher. So I'm writing my notes on the balcony in front of me, and it attracted the attention of the Nationalist Party that I could see facing me. They were debating the emergency regulation that were happening then because of the apartheid problems and the riots and the Sharpeville killing, the burning down of Rondavels, and people were rioting against apartheid. So I reached into my jacket to pull out a pencil, and they thought I could be pulling out a gun. There had been an attempted assassination on the Prime Minister. So I was given the command by miming to put my hands where they could be seen. And then they started doing things that I did not expect in a serious parliament. They were passing chocolates. So I licked my lips and, good chocolates, hey? And so they mimed, want some? I said, yes. So the door opens behind me, and a little black boy comes in with a box of chocolates. And it had, with the compliments of the Honourable Member for Witwatersrand, which is near Johannesburg, Honourable Charles Greling. And a few minutes later, the whole cabinet came, and behind me, the door opened behind me, I was sitting in the visitors gallery, and they invited me to come and talk to them in a huge room that was like a cafeteria, but that's not the word for this luxurious, elegant place that they were meeting in. And then they offered me a job working for South Africa in any embassy in the world, and they also gave me their cards and invited me to stay. And that is typical of the kind of things that happened to me in that first trip to Africa. A year ago, I was in a travel agency, and I saw that Intrepid Travel, an Australian company, was advertising about 4 or 5 trips in one called Cape to Cairo. So I knew I had to be there. And so I booked it, and that was a year ago. And once again, I'm doing it extemporaneously, and I'm off in 3 days. But I'm a little bit nervous now because I know what's happened to many countries in Africa. So it'll be 5 months, and hopefully I can write a book about the difference in the 2 trips and can have just as many safe adventures now as I did then. And I'm hoping to put some of these adventures on a blog. Do look up www.lynnhancock.com and see how far I get on this odyssey.